All right. It is August 23rd, and this is the meeting of the Simon Fairfield Public Library Trustees. And it's 5:05. And we have a quorum. And the minutes from August 3rd were distributed. Are there any questions or comments about those?
I did have a question or a comment, but we had discussed the treasurer position and what we were going to do at some length. And I don't think the note said that we decided to make it a policy and not do an amendment. And I'm wondering if it's worthwhile outlining that discussion we had.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good point. So I'll add that is a policy, not an amendment, or I'll just say it's a policy of the treasurer.
Yeah.
Yep. As soon as the minutes are approved too, I'll put that policy on our policy page on the website and get that updated.
All right, I'll accept a motion to accept the minutes as corrected. Can I have a motion?
Yeah, motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. Sorry, I'm trying to rush before all my house guests come back, and then I will be unable to hear you. All right, moving on to financial report.
All right, so the beginning balances for FY23 have been finalized and reconciled. They're the same as was printed in the packet I sent out last month, with one exception, which is the RS Douglas account, which I thought was $12,173 or $12,137.59, but it's actually $11,997.65. There's a difference of $139.94 there, and it's the result of a cumulative error on my part, because we get revenue statements from the finance department that gets sent out for us to reconcile. The interest doesn't show up until the end, but then there's this profit loss line, which I don't understand what is, but it's something that Gene has to report to the state, and something that we are supposed to just ignore because all we care about is the interest that's earned on the account. But I have been taking that profit loss number, which is a bigger number, and subtracting the interest earned from it, and then using that to carry forward my balances since 2017. So once I went back and retroactively fixed all that, now our numbers are in line. It just means we have $139.94 less than I thought we did. The money isn't lost, it's just was never there. So I apologize for that error, but the final balances are as shown here, with the library grants at $45,000, revolving account $226, the Carrick Fund $2,203. We've got $57,000 in regular donations, the $11,997 in RS Douglas, $11,554 in building donations, $47,295 in interest-bearing building donations, and $1,649 in the trust fund. And the next time I report, the building donations, the interest-bearing building donations, and the trust fund will all be lumped together into one sum that is invested with Bartholomew.
Excellent.
The only numbers I have reported this month on this is the personnel numbers, because we just had a meeting 3 weeks ago, and there's been no change since then. I haven't spent any money. I was out with COVID the last Wednesday when we would have been able to process bills and get everything signed. Deb did payroll for me, and Barbara came and signed it, but nothing else was processed. So I'll be spending a lot of money tomorrow. But as of now, the aside from what you see here with the personnel pieces, everything else in our accounts is identical to the last meeting.
So the building donations, the interest building donations and the trust funds have not been put into Bartholomew, or they have?
They have not been transferred yet. Gene was waiting for this final memo because I've got to write a memo saying that these are the final account balances. We've reconciled. The trustees agree. I'm going to deliver that to her tomorrow, and then we can combine them and move forward.
Is that your guess, Kate, or is that the library talking?
That's the library.
Okay.
All right, any questions on financial report? If not, we can move on to director's report.
All right. Summer reading is done. It ran July 5th to August 10th. Deb had 38 kids registered to track their reading, and they logged a total of 420 hours. I can't do numbers today. I've been shelf shifting all day. There were a total of 32 programs and 484 attendees, which, we're pretty satisfied with, given this is our first summer reading program since COVID. I already reported July circulation last month, or at the last meeting, so there's nothing to report there. New things, the ARIS has been submitted, finance report has been submitted. We're in 100% compliance with both. And now the electronic submission system is down, so all the librarians who waited until the last week it was open to submit have to do it by paper. So I'm glad we got it done early. I have started the process of replacing our mobile hotspots, as ours are going to stop working at the end of next month. They were funded through the MBLC through money that came from ARPA. So MBLC is dropping funding for them, but I'm going to try to get the cost covered by our local ARPA money for the next 4 years, because it's not a lot. It's a pretty pithy amount in the grand scheme of what people are asking for. And it fits the bill exactly of what the federal government wants local communities to spend the money on. If that ends up not working out, then it's still not going to be a big deal because it qualifies as a circulating material expense for state aid. But I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Right now, we're focusing on doing some shelf shifting in the adult stacks and adjusting the heights of the shelves so we don't have to put so many books sideways. It also makes room for new books. And I've hired 2 new pages. One is going to begin immediately, and the other is going to pick up in the middle of next month when our current page moves out of state. And that's my director's report.
So how many mobile hotspots do we have now?
Right now we have 5, and I'm hoping to increase that to 11.
And they've all been still circulating?
They are all still circulating. Right now we have 2 in, but that's odd. Once we have 11, I'll probably make them holdable so that people can reserve them instead of relying on, having to come in and ask if one's available.
Yeah, that's great.
But I've got from now until mid-September before I have to commit to how many I order. And if it looks like these aren't going out, I'm probably going to just get, 8 instead of 11. But if they disappear again and we don't have any in demand, then I'll probably get the maximum amount that's allowed by the nonprofit that donates them out.
Any other questions on the director's report? All right, old business, handicap access. Nope. Nothing. We did just meet 3 weeks ago, right? So
Yep.
Well, I did change the agenda, so it got rid of, ramping and estimates. So, but I did not want to get rid of handicapped access.
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
But yeah, nothing to report on any of those fronts.
All right, so down to LRP updates.
This is really, there's nothing of substance here, but we offered a Saturday program recently, and it only had one attendee.
What was it, Justin? What was the program?
It was the Beatles retrospective, because that night there was a group that was doing
At the
the
farm.
Beatles concert at the Douglas Orchard and Farm. And one of the people was doing like a history of the Beatles and sort of a minor performance at the library at 11. And I wasn't able to be here because I was still in quarantine. But we had one attendee, and it was Deb's husband. So my general feeling right now is that whenever we're focusing on improving access to materials, we always get really good results and positive feedback. But investing time and effort into adult programming always ends in disappointment.
And last month you said it was because we didn't serve booze.
Yeah, there's no booze.
Yeah, that was the kind of the bottom line. Yes.
No pizza, no booze.
Well, we can spend that money on books.
Books, and ebooks.
Works for me. Books, ebooks.
I just gotta find a new place to put all the books. Which is why we're moving shelves around.
There are more ebooks. More ebooks. All right, on to the Friends auction.
Well, it's been going along pretty good. I had contacted, I didn't do the police because somebody else did it the previous year. So, but I did do the fire department and got a positive from them. And then I tried, I really wanted to try to get sort of all the town contributing. I should try to figure out something from the senior center too. But so I had contacted Highway, and I had contacted Water Sewer, and I didn't get a response from either of them. So I feel it's sort of a good thing for different town departments to sort of pat each other on the back, or to say, yeah, I'll help you and stuff. And also that the auction could show off the nifty resources in these different departments that the town provides. And so I did get an answer from Adam today from Highway, and saying that, yeah, they would provide a tour of, they can't let kids get into the trucks, but they can tour them, and the kids can get excited, or whoever asks or bids high on it could, get excited about just seeing these big trucks and stuff. And somebody would, give a description of what Highway does. And also Water Sewer has obviously been very, very busy the last month or two, and is continuing to be busy. And so I wrote them again, and then Lee Blanias, the clerk from there, wrote back and said that Bob Sullivan was on vacation, but she'd get back, when he comes back next Monday or something like that. I was trying to get everything, because the friends are going to be meeting on Saturday, so I wanted to tie up my loose ends by then. And so it's coming along. Donna Metz said that she sent us an email the other day saying that I think there were 70 donations so far. Is that right? Justin,
Mhm.
do you remember that? And
Yep, about. And there's more than that. That's just what she's managed to catalog so far.
yeah, so I think it's, coming together pretty well. I'm happy with it, and let's hope we get big bucks from it all.
I would think that a visit with the plow trucks and the salt trucks and so on would be really fascinating.
Yeah.
And visiting the water department and seeing the lines and seeing just how they do that, I think.
Well,
That's great.
yeah, the water sewer department. I remember when my kids went to Touchstone Community School in Grafton. I guess it was my older daughter was in second grade at the time, and the teacher brought the class, and I was the mother helper there to the Grafton water, the sewer department, the sewer handling place. What is that called? What is the
Water
when they
treatment.
Treatment plant.
treatment plant, right? And I was fascinated by it. And then when they got back to school, and the teacher had them draw pictures of what they thought were great, and so my daughter Liz brought home her picture, and it was a beautiful painting with aluminum foil in it and stuff like that. It's just great. And I got it framed. It was so nice. And so it was a very positive experience for me as an adult. And so I was hoping that they would, and I don't know what the sewage treatment plant looks like in Douglas, or if you can go in there or get a description of it all. But I think that's exciting sort of stuff.
Yes, I agree.
Maybe I should have Donna take a picture of the picture that my daughter made of the graph. Nobody would know the difference. So that's about it. We're also Carolyn Dorville is working like crazy sorting for Oktoberfest, because I'm not going to be here for Oktoberfest, and so that's coming down the road too. So I think we're hoping everything happens at the library, obviously. So, and I don't know what the status of the book getting the end of the sale books, what we do with them, because I know Kate usually helps, and Dana does too, and I do, but I'm not going to be here. Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure, or you can get later on in the meeting. It shouldn't be under new business. It's sort of old business. What happens with that book donation bin that you were talking about, Justin?
It hasn't arrived yet. I need to poke them. I can do that right now.
So what is it? I mean, do you need a brigade of trucks to get rid of books, or what?
No, I wouldn't do it the day of Oktoberfest. I would bring them back into the library, because these are also books I have not had anyone scan yet for Baker and Taylor's program where they buy back books.
Yeah.
So before I cart them away, I want to have them scanned to see if we can get Baker and Taylor credit. Yeah. And then if the box is here, we can just take them out to the box and dump them in it, and then they'll take them away to recyclers or resellers.
Yeah, also under Friends, Justin had asked if the Friends would pay $646 or something like that for new letters for the sign. And I had sent you back a response to that saying, I think the trustees should be brought into all of this. And are these signs, I mean, is this the technology? Should we get a sign like Greg's has that can just type colors into it, or what should we do? I don't know. And I don't know if it only lasted 7 years, and it's magnetic letters that are sort of falling apart or causing caca to go on to the white sheets that you have replaced. And I don't know whether it's appropriate for, I mean, I think the sign's very important, and but I don't know if it's appropriate for the Friends to do this. Or could we take some MEG money to do it? But what is the best route to go? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think
if you want me to research electronic signs, I'm happy to research electronic signs because I hate these signs.
Right, you need something programmable.
What do you mean?
But that will make our little sign thingy outside obsolete. And I know that there's some attachments to that.
So it's the LED, so you could program it in a moment. It's just like you just sit on your computer and you change the word. That's what Gregory's does.
Yeah, I would love to be able to do that because right now, I mean, it seems like a simple process to take down the magnetic board and bring it inside and take all the magnetic letters off and put new magnetic letters on to make a new sign. But I mean, it's actually a pretty labor-intensive, painstaking process.
Yeah.
And
it's also an antiquated one.
Yeah.
With the 3-inch letters, I mean, you can't really fit a lot on them. And if by the time you get all the information on the board you need, then it's like too busy and too jumbled to really read.
But Justin, it's probably big enough. You can take the frame of it, if it's possible to find something that fits inside the frame. Don't you?
But that you could computerize.
Yes, but then you could keep the iron, the metalwork, the outside of it. But if you could, redo the inside, the white part. I don't know if they come that way. I haven't done this before. But.
I don't know either. I could talk to Greg's and see who they got to do theirs, and then have them give us an estimate for a project and talk to them.
They had to go through all kinds of hearings to get that out there. How big it was, the sign bylaw, all kinds of hearings.
And they got in trouble too, right?
They did, yes.
They what?
And they got in trouble because they didn't do it before the fact. They didn't get approval ahead of time. But you see those signs in a lot of places, and they're all different sizes, shapes, and sizes. Yeah. So there might be some flexibility in making something that's custom.
Mm-hmm.
The one at the fire station, is that just like the ones we have with letters they have to change?
Yes, but theirs are the letters that I really hate, which are sliding in the little slots and stuff like that. And that's I was so against having that type of sign at the library. And then I think it was Danielle that came up with these magnetic ideas. So to me, that was, wow, this is the 21st century type of this stuff, But things seem to pass much more quickly than they did in the past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know how long ago it actually was that the sign got out there. I put 7 years because I've been here for 7 years now, believe it or not. But the sign predates me. I just don't know by how much.
Well, I'm sure, I think there is a label on it because Pete Tatro made us put a label on it. And so there's a label saying this was donated by Pete and Veronica Tatro, and it probably says the date on it too.
I remember it went into the in the annual report as well.
We couldn't actually get rid of it. If the electronic didn't work in it, we might have to find a respectful place for it. We can't just dump it.
Yeah, no.
After everybody went through.
Sign. Yeah, I think it's very nice, but it might be fun with the electronic stuff.
Yeah.
Electronic sign, but no handicapped access.
Right,
there
exactly.
You go.
2011. Gail just figured it out.
Oh.
So it's not 7 years old.
It's 11 years old.
It's 11 years old.
Well, it took many years to get it made.
It took, yeah, I remember 4 or 5 years, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the magnetic letters, I was looking at them through the same company that they were ordered through in 2011, because it's hard to find these things. Like, they're acrylic magnetic stuff that's supposed to hold up in weather. And I was just going to buy one color instead of 4 colors, because that's one of the things that makes switching out the signs so difficult, is you've got to sort through, you know, like, you don't just have A's, B's, and C's. You've got 4 different colors of A's, B's, and C's.
Oh,
So you'll look into something.
But I'll look into something electric. I'll find out who Greg's did, and then I'll report something back next month.
It
Yeah,
can't look tacky, though.
Yeah, but ask Matt if you have to go through any hoops too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was my new business. So
Oh, it doesn't. It says new business, and there's nothing there.
yeah, I was just, well, I mean, even if there's nothing there, you can say, I've got something brand new, right?
Yeah.
That's true. That's the beauty of new business. All right. Anyone else have new business? All right. That was a pretty good half-hour meeting.
wow.
Woo.
Not even.
That's a record for shortness.
All right.
How do I get
Next
back to Zoom?
meeting,
They changed everything.
September 27th. I'm not
September.
ready for September. And can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll move that.
A second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 5:32.